Sri Srimad Bhagavad Saraswati Goswami की
जय
अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की
जय
साई गौर
हरि हरि बोल
all glories to Sankarananda, all glories to Sankarananda, all glories to Sankarananda, all glories to Shri Guru Gaur. Hare Krishna. So, thank you very much all the devotees for. I know today I did a very super hectic day.
Yeah, oh, I forgot. Yeah.
So, I know today has been a very busy day for everyone, especially the devotees. So, but still, all of you have taken your time and come today evening. So, thank you very much. Especially I see some of the devotees was engaged in the early morning and they're still here. Thank you so much.
Oh, you came late night.
Yeah.
You came morning and then you went there. You did lot of austerity than us. You have to fly and come in the night.
Thank you so much for having me here. So, निरन्दस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादां सहगना श्रीशाखां हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेशा
गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्तकांचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः।
श्री कृष्ण
चैतन्य
नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम राम। Please come. Hare Krishna. So today we are starting with a journey to look into the Bhagavad Gita for next, I believe, 18 weeks, right?
That's right.
Yes. Okay. I'll say today's lecture, you can say, yeah, maybe today's discussion is more a bonus. So beside this, you'll have 18 more sessions.
Buy one, 18 and free.
By one get it.
It was supposed to be surplus. It's 18 plus 1.
So today we'll just try to look into kind of a summary of entire Bhagavad Gita. Okay. And I think from next week we'll start looking into the one chapter as you leave. Okay. So that I'll leave for the devotees who will be continuing this program. Right. Bhagavad Gita is total 18 chapters. The 700 shlokas in Bhagavad Gita and divided into 18 chapters. All these 18 chapters can be divided into 3 sections. Okay. So, just like we have sandwich. I think to children, do you like cheese sandwich? Right? The cheese sandwich has 3 layers. Huh?
Not usually.
Not?
Not usually.
Not usually.
Yes. That's
Then
what
how many layers it has? 1? Which layer?
Just one slice of cheese.
1 cheese sandwich will have 3 layers, right? Top bread
Oh
and the bottom bread, and between is
yeah. Cheese.
cheese, right? So 3 layers, right? Bottom bread, then cheese, and then again bread, right? So 3 layers. So in cheese sandwich, what is the most favorite ingredient you have?
Cheese.
Cheese, right?
You like those?
So, we have bread, 2 layers, and in between there's the cream, the cheese in between, right? So Bhagavad Gita can also be seen through that perspective. Not that, one layer is less important or other layer is more important, nothing like that. But you can see from perspective as a study, neutral perspective, if you see the study of Bhagavad Gita, the first 6 chapters and the last 6 chapters are dealing a lot with this body and the duties related to body. But the middle 6 chapters are like a cream of Bhagavad Gita, which is dealing specifically with the duties related to the soul. Okay. So, therefore, the middle 6 chapters are said to be dealing more precisely with devotional service, or we call bhakti. And therefore, those middle 6 chapters are considered like the cream of Bhagavad Gita. And the first 6 and last 6 chapters are like supporting, keeping the cream intact. Okay. So let's try to, briefly look into, what the first 6 chapters, middle 6 chapters, and last 6 chapters are actually get left into. So in Bhagavad Gita, you will find the first 6 chapters are actually more or less dealing with different forms of yoga. Because people nowadays have yoga classes, right? Yoga is something means for the physical body, right? To keep the body fit. And yoga actually more or less is done with the body, but it's not really only for the body. The purpose of yoga, or the very word yoga itself, it comes from a Sanskrit word called yunja. Yunja means to link, to connect. So the very word yoga actually means to connect. Connect what? Connect what with what? Right? Connecting our consciousness with supreme consciousness, with God, with Krishna. That's the meaning of yoga. Yoga means to connect our consciousness with Krishna, with the Supreme Lord. That's the real meaning of yoga. So, the first 6 chapters of Gita actually explain the different forms of yoga, the different kinds of yoga. For example, in the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna refers to Buddhi Yoga. You know, Buddhi Yoga means the process by which you use the intelligence, your Buddhi, to connect with God. You see, people generally think, oh, connecting with God will be very easy. Just go to temple, right? It's not so simple. It's not so easy. As it may sound to be. So Buddhi Yoga actually means by which a person uses his intelligence to connect with God. For example, you know, many times people think when I go to temple, I'm connecting with God. Okay. But why do people even go to temple most of the time? They generally go with a list, right? They have a lot of aspirations, you know, and they think, oh, I will offer some incense or some aarti to the Lord, and the Lord should fulfill my desire, right? Or maybe I'll put some donation in the only God, see, I'm putting some donation. Please fulfill my desire. Or some people even go a step forward, you know, like they go to Tirupati and they tell the Lord, if you fulfill my desire, I'll make you partner in my business. Right? You heard that? Lot of people do that. That if you make me success, my Lord, I will give you 50% of my business profit. So it's like going with a menu card. If you provide me God, if you provide me this, I will do this for you. I'll give you this much donation. I'll do this much donation to the temple. Right? But if you try to think, many times people don't even think much with intelligence that if I am dependent on God, if God is going to provide me, whatever He provides me, right? If He's providing me, why does He care for 50% also? He can keep all 100%. He doesn't have to give me anything, right? Or is it that if I offer little incense, or I know some people, they even have a very concocted idea about pleasing God. They say, oh God, I won't eat meat on Monday because I want to please Lord Shiva. And if Lord Shiva will be pleased if you eat meat on Tuesday or Wednesday. What common sense is there, right? Shiva is called Bhutanath, right? Bhutanath means he's the Lord of all the Bhuta, all the Jivas, you know. So do you think he'll be pleased just because you don't eat on Monday? No, right? So that's where people don't even use intelligence, right? There's no connection with God through the buddhi. But buddhi yoga means when you use intelligence to connect with God, who God is, what is my relationship with Him, what will actually make Him pleased. People don't get to try to even know that, right? How many people you have seen, they go to temple and pray to God, God, tell me what should I do that will make you happy? Have you seen any people like that? When somebody goes to a temple, God, please tell me what should I do that'll bring smile on your face. Right? Rarely. At least I haven't come across anyone, right? Like who goes to temple with this aspiration. Right? So this is called using our buddhi, not just concocted idea of connecting with God. So buddhi yoga means you actually start using your intelligence to connect with God. There are symptoms. So the second chapter deals with buddhi yoga. Third chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is talking about karma yoga. Karma yoga means how you can connect yourself with God through activities, through your actions. What kind of activities I can perform to connect myself with God? Generally, people quote a verse, Karmane va vikaraste. You have to perform your duty. That's all people know. You have to perform your duty. That will please God. And many times people they say, oh, this is actually essence of Bhagavad Gita. Just perform your duty. But if that was the essence of Gita, then why would Krishna speak all the 18 chapters? Right? And if performing your duty is pleasing God, then donkeys also perform their duty, right? And if you have a dog, a pet dog in your home, dog is also performing his duty, right? So is it that he's also practicing Bhagavad Gita? Just ask the question, right? So people don't even try to understand that. Karma Yoga means activities or a specific form of activities that we adopt to connect with God, to connect with Krishna. That's called Karma Yoga. And then fourth chapter is Jnana Yoga. How you can connect yourself with God through jnana, through again, jnana does not mean just going to the college or university. Not that kind of jnana. People don't even understand nowadays what really jnana is. They think if I'm going to university, I'm actually acquiring jnana. So I'm worshipping God through jnana yoga. No. What we are taught in the schools or university nowadays is nowhere closer to jnana. You know, what is taught in the schools nowadays is actually ajnana. Because what we are taught in the schools nowadays, we are taught about this phenomenal world, right? So studying this world is called studying ajnana, because this world is nothing but ajnana. So if you're trying to understand chemistry, physics, biology, or if I'm trying to study, engineering, it's purely studying ajnana. There's no jnana there. And all that ajnana, which you can say is jnana or knowledge, has practically no value, right? Whatever we study in the schools or colleges, how much of you use your day-to-day life? I went to engineering college, right? Whatever I studied in engineering college, and what I'm doing now, I'm working in engineering field only, IT field only. But I have zero utility of whatever I studied in my university or my college with my day-to-day work. I'm working in still engineering field only, but 0% knowledge I'm utilizing in my day-to-day life, in my work field also. Just like, for example, chemistry, right? We studied what is CO? Carbon monoxide, right? So now just imagine, we know carbon monoxide is deadly, right? If you are inhaling carbon, you can die also, right? So just imagine, just because you know CO, carbon monoxide, does that mean that when you inhale, you will not die? You will die, right? Even if you happen to inhale carbon monoxide for a prolonged time, you will die, right? So, what is the value of that knowledge? Or H2O, right? What is H2O?
Water.
Everybody knows, right? Water. How many times we made water like that? Have you ever made water like that? Have you ever seen also water being made like that? Anyone see? Even I never saw. We just accepted it, right? So, what is the use of that knowledge? It's not even jnana, it's ajnana. Okay? Jnana actually means when you try to understand, Krishna explained in Bhagavad, what is jnana? Jnana means to study three things. Try to understand the matter, try to understand the spirit, and try to understand the controller of both the matter and spirit. So matter means this world. Spirit means I, as a spirit soul, I am a soul. What am I? Who am I? Understand that. And controller of both means God, who controls both the jiva, the living entity, and the nature, this material existence. So the study, the controller of both, when you study about all three subject matter, that is called jnana. Right? So fourth chapter is actually talking about jnana yoga. Fifth chapter speaks about, again, a form of karma yoga, which is actually connected with Krishna consciousness. When you do the activities, your day-to-day perform your duties for the pleasure of God. Not just connecting with God, but for the pleasure of God. And the sixth chapter is actually what is known as Dhyana Yoga. And this Dhyana Yoga actually has 8 limbs. It's called also Ashtanga Yoga. Ashta means 8 and Anga means limbs. So this Dhyana Yoga has 8 limbs. 8 limbs are Yama, Niyama, then Asanas, Pranayama, Pratyahar, Dharana, Dhyan, and Samadhi. These are the 8 limbs of Ashtanga Yoga. So whatever we are taught nowadays in yoga's classes is only talking about one limb. That is asanas. No talk about yama, niyama. The first 2 limbs before you go to the asanas is yama and niyama. Yama means the things to refrain from. What you should refrain from, what you should not do. And niyama means what you should do every day. That's called yama and niyama. Okay. Then comes asana. So if you really want to derive the benefit of this Ashtanga Yoga, the asanas also, before that, one has to have yama and niyama. And Krishna explains in the 6th chapter of Gita, what are the prerequisites for yama and niyama before you go to asanas. So prerequisites are one should leave the home and go to forest to practice this form of yoga. That is prerequisite. If you want to actually practice asanas, you have to go to forest where there is no carbon dioxide coming from the vehicles.
Only plants.
Huh?
Only plants.
Yeah. People try to do Kapal Bhati, right? No, what is Kapal Bhati? Right? Pranayam, some form of pranayam, right? Or do Anulom Vilom, Like if you're doing that Anulom Vilom or Kapal Bhati in a city like Delhi, you know for sure you have no benefit of it. You'll probably attain Samadhi quickly by, dying quickly. It has no benefit because asanas and pranayam has benefit only when you're living in a pure atmosphere, like a forest setting, where there's no so much emission coming from vehicles and factories. So that is a mechanical way of connecting with God. So these are the 6 chapters which are actually talking about different forms of yoga. It's like a one layer protecting the middle green. Now, before we go to middle 6 chapters, we'll discuss about the last 6 chapters. So last 6 chapters, 13 to 18, are actually discussing again things related to the body. For example, 13 chapters is discussing about the prakriti, this nature, how this nature works. So Krishna is talking about in length about this prakriti, because this body that we have is also considered part of prakriti. This body means prakriti. And in order to understand this body, we have to understand this 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. There actually Krishna explains also, what are the different qualities that belong to the soul. There are 26 qualities that Krishna talks about that belong to soul, not to the body. And the 14th chapter actually deals with the three modes of material nature. Because you see, our body is very much controlled. Kala, karma, gunadhino, deho yam panchabhautika. This body is actually controlled by three things in this world. It's controlled by time, right? In due course of time, you see our body starts growing and deteriorating and eventually finishes, right? So all the bodies are very much controlled by time. Time factor controls us tremendously, right? Nobody can surpass the control of time. So Kala and karma, what activities we do, what actions we perform, this body is very much controlled by that, right? How our body is controlled by our karma, right? For example, I decide to get married, right? If I decide to get married to some, lady, then immediately I'm bound. This body has responsibility, right? The duties towards that lady. And if we have children, then I have duties towards children also. So my activities are actually binding me, So the body is also bound by our actions, right? Or suppose I get angry and kill somebody, then I end up in prison, right? So my body is very much controlled by my actions, my karma. And guna. This body is also controlled by three modes. What are the three modes? Three modes are nothing but three invisible ropes or three invisible forces in this creation which control our body very much. Not only control our body, but control practically everything in the creation. They are called the quality of goodness, passion, and ignorance. Sattva, Rajas, and Tama. There are three gunas. So three gunas are like the three invisible ropes which are controlling practically everyone. Every living entity, not just human beings, but every living entity, and not only living entity, but every thing in this creation is controlled by these three invisible forces. So everybody acts like a helpless puppet by the push and pull of these three qualities. Like, puppeteers, he pulls the rope and the puppet appears to be moving. So similarly, these three gunas, these three qualities, they actually force us to behave in a particular way. How do we understand that? You see, this nature is going through the cycles of these three qualities. Sometimes the goodness becomes very powerful. Then you will see the population in the world is more inclined towards the quality of goodness. We'll try to understand what that exactly is. When the mode of passion becomes very prominent, you see the whole population becomes more and more passionate. And when the quality of ignorance becomes prominent, you see people go crazy. Most of the population in the world goes a little crazy. And you get to see that. You can actually visualize. When you understand these 14 chapter of Bhagavad Gita, you can actually see the three qualities, how they are actually controlling everyone in this world. So, for example, quality of goodness is when a person or people in the mode of goodness, they are generally accustomed by following the laws and rules very nicely. They don't want to do anything illegal. They want to follow the rules and regulation of scriptures. They want to follow the law and order very nicely. So when the goodness becomes very prominent, people naturally have inclination to be good. Okay. When the mode of passion becomes prominent, people actually become passionate. That means whatever is conducive for my enjoyment, I will do it. Whether it's lawful or unlawful, I don't care. Whatever is actually conducive for my enjoyment, I will do it. Okay? And mode of ignorance is what is actually meant for destroying everyone. I feel very much inclined to do that. Destroy myself, destroy everyone else. Like, terrorism, you see. Some people have natural inclination towards terrorism. I don't mind dying, but I'll kill, more and more people. And this is tamogun, this is ignorance. So everyone in this world and everything in this world is actually under the control of these three modes. Even the time that we have in the daytime, entire day, is also under the influence of these three modes. So, for example, early morning hours, about 96 minutes before sunrise, goodness becomes very prominent. Sattvic quality becomes very prominent. And that goes on for entire morning. Almost 3 hours after sunrise, it goes on. That's very prominent. But slowly and gradually that gets transformed into passion. So when you reach around noon time, midday time, that is, passion quality becomes very prominent. And when the evening hours arise, the ignorance start becoming more and more prominent. And by midnight, ignorance is at the peak. So you see, what happens is, it really depends on what you are doing during these three phases of the day. If you are awake during those three times, you tune into the energy of that mode. So if you are awake in the morning before sunrise, you actually start tuning into the energy of goodness. You start becoming more and more connected with quality of goodness. If you are awake during the noon time, which mostly everybody is, right, then you start becoming tuned to the quality of passion. And if you are awake till midnight, then you start becoming tuned to tamas quality, the ignorance quality. So Krishna explains at length in the 14th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, the three modes. And 15th chapter is actually Purushottam Yoga, which actually explains about how we can actually leave this world, leave this body to attain the spiritual realm, to attain the abode of the Lord. And 16th chapter, Krishna explains about the demoniac qualities, divine and demoniac qualities. We have this body, right? And therefore we have mindset. The part of the body is also mindset we have. So what mindset is actually considered divine and conducive for attaining the devotion to God, and what kind of nature is not conducive, which is actually more and more degrading to the soul, which takes the living entity to the lower species of life. It explains in the 16th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. What are the demoniac qualities? So that is 16th chapter. And 17th chapter explains actually about the different divisions of faith. You see, when we have body, we have certain mindset. We have naturally some faith also, right? And it's very amazing. In the same home, you may find, people have faith completely opposite. Like, in the same home, you may see somebody, the husband may be liking Democrats. He have full faith in Democrat. The wife may have complete different faith in Republicans, right? Same home, right? But people have completely different faith, right? One thing, oh, this group of people is actually very bad. Others, no, this group of people is very bad. No. They say, no, this is hopeless. No, this is hopeless. No, this is actually good. No, this is good, right? So faith also is very much connected to the body and our mindset, which is again connected with three modes, which Krishna explains in the 14th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So you see, faith actually plays a very key and important role in our life. Whom you believe, in what you believe, plays a tremendously important role in our life. How? How does it play important role in our life? You see, if you happen to have faith in somebody who has ill intentions about you, right? Who has intention of backstabbing you, and you have full faith in such a person, you end up in mess, right? Like, some groups of, say, so-called religious people, they allure people, into terrorism in the name of religion, right? So they have ill intentions, but they somehow allure people, right? So how somebody develops faith in such people? Because they have developed faith in three modes: goodness, passion, and ignorance. So if you develop faith in the goodness, if you imbibe the quality of goodness, then you will have faith also accordingly. Then you will naturally believe or have trust in somebody who is well-wisher of you, who really wants to uplift you. And faith in the mode of passion, you will only develop faith in people who are going to entertain you. You want to, have a faith in people who are really going to entertain you, who want to, make you feel happy. Right? And mode of ignorance means you naturally develop faith in people who want to destroy you, who want to drag you down. Have you seen people like that also? People having faith. Sometimes you see in your own family, somebody is having faith in someone who is actually bent upon destroying them, right? Because you develop faith in the mode of ignorance, quality of ignorance. It's very crucial. You see how much crucial information Krishna is giving in Bhagavad Gita, right? Which actually can be applied in our day-to-day life. And 18th chapter, of course, Krishna talks about the renunciation of this world. Renunciation again connected with the body. What you should renounce, what you should become detached from in this world, how you should become detached from this world. What is worthy of becoming detached. So these are the two pieces of bread. Now come to the cream of Bhagavad Gita. So 7th chapter actually speaks directly about devotional service. Talks about how to actually become Krishna conscious. Actually, all this middle 6th chapter are talking about how to become Krishna conscious. And therefore you'll find from 7th chapter onwards, in the 7th chapter, in the 9th, in the 10th chapter, Krishna is talking a lot about how we can remember him. For example, in 7th chapter, Krishna says, Rasoham apsu kaunteya prabhasami shashi suryo pranava sarva vedeshu shabdakhe paurisham. For example, if I'm thirsty, I'm drinking water, right? If I'm thirsty, only water element can quench my thirst, right? If I give you ghee to drink, will it quench your thirst? No, probably it will aggravate your thirst, right? If you drink ghee, if you drink any oil, right? It will aggravate your thirst. When you're thirsty, the only thing that really satisfies you is the water, right? So what is there in the water that actually quenches your thirst? It is the rasa, the taste of the water that quenches your thirst. Krishna says, Raso aham apsu kaunteya. The rasa in the water that quenches your thirst is me. Prabhasmi shashi suryo. Prabha means light. So the illumination of Shashi, that is, moon, and Suryo, the sun, the illumination of sun and moon, Krishna says that is me. So you see, every time you drink water, how many times do you drink water in the day? Right? Every time you drink water, you can remember this. What Krishna says, I am the taste of the water. Actually, the taste in the water can be appreciated by a person. Somebody who's thrown into a desert, right? Or brought up in desert, you can go and ask them the value of the water. They will be able to tell you what is the value of water, right? But every time you drink water, you can remember Krishna. Similarly, in the 8th chapter, Krishna talks about using certain timings to leave this body in a way that you can attain Krishna. So Krishna is talking about some mechanical way. If you try to be conscious of certain timings, you leave the body during certain timings, then you can attain Krishna. In the 9th chapter, of course, Krishna talks about Raj Yoga, where he's exclusively speaking about, having firm faith in him, and also how we can remember him in so many different ways. There also Krishna speaks about, people who actually try to follow the path of Vedas to attain the heavenly planets. The only gain for them is Gata Gatam Kama Kama. These people just continuing the cycle of birth and death. But those who actually worship Krishna, they attain an abode. And 10th chapter, of course, Krishna exclusively speaks about, entire chapter speaks about in Vibhuti Yoga, how we can remember him in our day-to-day life. So many different ways Krishna talks about. And of course, in Bhagavad Gita, in the 10th chapter, Krishna gives only a small, sample of how we can remember him. In Srimad Bhagavatam, in Uddhav Gita, Krishna goes into much more elaborate details explaining about how we can remember him. So you see, in this world, we see so many great things, right? For example, when you go to zoo, you see different animals, right? But the king among the animals is lion, right? So when you see a lion, Krishna says, Mrigana Mrigendrosmi. Among the animals, I am lion. So every time you see a lion, you can remember. Krishna says in Gita, I am lion among animals. Because lion immediately creates fear, right? If we see a dog, you may not be so much afraid. If you see an elephant, you still may not be so much afraid. But as soon as you come in front of lion face to face, and not in the zoo with a wall, glass wall, you come face to face with lion, what happens? Immediately there's a fear, right? So, or similarly, sometime thundering happens, right? But thundering that happens right above your head, right, which creates tremendous noise. Even if you are a strong person, it immediately creates a form of fear in the heart, right? And if the lightning falls right in front of you on some tree or something, the noise it will make, it will shatter your heart, right? The noise is me. The thundering voice is actually me. Similarly, we see mountains, so many different mountains, right? Here also in Minnesota, we have a lot of mountains, right? But among all the mountains in the world, when you go to Kashmir and you are face to face with Himalayan mountains, it creates tremendous reverence, right, for Himalayan mountains. And Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Sthavaranam Himalaya, I am the Himalaya among the mountains. So in this way, 10th chapter Krishna actually goes in detail describing how we can remember him. But when you're talking about attaining Krishna or, trying to attain Krishna, Krishna is not just some philosophical God alone. That, you should try to attain me, you should try to worship me. Because nowadays, especially in Kali Yuga, there are so many, especially, if you go to India, you find a lot of people who claim, I am God, I am incarnation of Kalki, I am incarnation of Krishna or Rama, right? A lot of people who speak like that nonsense. So Krishna, in order to confirm that he is God, he inspired Arjun. Arjun requested in the 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna, I want to see your Virat Roop. So if any God, then he should also be able to demonstrate that he is God by showing the Virat Roop. One time, there was one person in India who claimed himself to be God, and he had a lot of following. So thousands of people were sitting in the gathering, and some of his, flatterer, some student was telling, "Oh, you are God," and in front of 1,000 people, he's saying, "You are God." So one of the Vaishnava, from Madhva Sampradaya, he was also in that assembly. So he challenged this so-called incarnation of God. He said, "Excuse me, are you God?" And he see that this person appears to be from Madhva Sampradaya Vaishnava. So he knew that if I said anything like that, he will, expose me in front of everyone. So he very gently, very low volume, he told this person, actually, I'm not God. So he said, if you're not God, then why don't you tell it, your disciple who's flattering you in front of everyone that you're not God? He said, but, well, if he has faith, I don't want to break his faith. Let him think that I'm God. What is wrong, right? You see, this craziness. And the time, one of the Madhu Vaishnava was there in another gathering where there was another person who was claiming himself to be God. So he challenged him. You claim yourself to be God, but can you show universal form like Krishna showed in Bhagavad Gita to Arjun? So this person was also very smart. He said, well, I can show the universal form, but you are not fit for that. But this devotee was not going to leave him so easily. So he said, okay, I'm not fit, but here are your followers, right? Show at least one of them. So he said, even they are not qualified. So this devotee actually told him, what is the use of such useless God who cannot qualify even one person? So you are such a useless God, right? Actually, it's very interesting. Krishna actually told Arjun in Bhagavad Gita that Arjun, you are not qualified to see that form, but I'll give you qualification. Krishna actually tells in the 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita to Arjun, Dadami Divya Chakshudev. I'm giving you the divine vision by which you can see. Although you're not qualified to see that with these eyes, but I'll give you the qualification by which you can see the universal form. So, 11th chapter actually Krishna reveals the universal form. In 12th chapter he talks purely about devotional service, bhakti, and different levels of bhakti. If you cannot do this, then do this. If you cannot do this, then do this. So Krishna gives a lot of different options in the 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So in this way, the entire 18 chapters of Bhagavad Gita are actually designed in such a way to give us a lot of wisdom to attain the bhakti or devotional service unto the Supreme Lord, Shri Krishna. But until unless we actually start practicing some form of bhakti, it'll be very difficult to understand Bhagavad Gita. Because Krishna in the 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, he tells Arjuna, Arjun, I am giving you this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita because Bhakto Sevi Sakha Cheti Rahasyam Etad Uttama. In the 9th chapter, Krishna says that Arjun, because you are my devotee, therefore I am revealing to you this secret. Bhakto Sevi, you are my devotee. Sakha, you are also my friend. You don't have inimical nature towards me. You are actually friendly towards me. Therefore, Rahasyam Etad Uttamam. This topmost rahasya, this topmost secret I am revealing to you. So Srila Prabhupada explains that if we want to understand Bhagavad Gita, then we have to have bhakti towards Krishna. If you don't have bhakti, then you may keep reading Bhagavad Gita. You will spend your entire life or you spend lifetimes after reading Bhagavad Gita, but you will still not understand anything. Why? Because bhakti is the process by which Bhagavad Gita you can compare with a bottle of honey. It's sealed. So to remove the seal, you need bhakti. So bhakti is like removing the seal of the bottle. Then you can taste honey. Right? If you don't have bhakti, the bottle remains sealed. You may keep licking from outside. You'll never get the real taste of Bhagavad Gita. Therefore, it's very crucial. It's very important, to develop bhakti or devotion towards Krishna in order to understand Bhagavad Gita. And the process of developing bhakti towards Krishna is the easiest process is actually to chant Hare Krishna. When you start chanting Hare Krishna, you get qualification to even understand the message of Bhagavad Gita. But if you do not chant Hare Krishna, if you do not have the process of bhakti practice every day in your life, then you may keep reading Bhagavad Gita, but you will not have much understanding of Bhagavad Gita. So, there are a lot of people who actually study Bhagavad Gita in a scholarly way. They think if I have knowledge of Sanskrit, then I can understand Bhagavad Gita. No. Bhagavad Gita is not a matter of understanding Sanskrit. Just like, if you know English language, right? And if I give you a book on surgery, how to perform surgery, it's in English only, right? Can you start performing surgery? Right? It is in English, of course. You know English, right? So what's the big deal? So similarly, if somebody thinks, oh, I know Sanskrit, therefore I shouldn't have any difficulty in understanding. No, you cannot. Just because you know Sanskrit very well doesn't qualify you to understand Bhagavad Gita.
Nice example.
Right? And similarly, just imagine somebody who doesn't even have the knowledge of a language, but if gets training under somebody who's expert in that field. I'll just give you a simple example. So in early 90s, one time I fell in Mumbai. I used to live in Mumbai, so I fell on some railway platform, and I got some hurt on my right foot. Okay, and it became swell like big. I went to doctor. They took the X-ray and all. They didn't find anything. They said no, there's no fracture or anything. So they said, as they say maybe there is a hairline fracture. Right? That's what their typical answer is. If you are having pain and there's no fracture, they say maybe it was a hairline fracture that you can't see in the X-rays and all. So they say just take some rest and it will go away. So I was, of course, working that time, but I took leave from my job and for a week or so, but then I started working again. But 3 months went by, my swelling didn't go away. 3 months, just imagine. And there was no relief in the pain as well. And doctors, all they could say is just take painkiller. That's it. And take some rest, extra rest. Right? So finally, in our neighborhood, there was a plumber,
Plumber.
not a doctor, he was a plumber. He used to do plumbing job, but he was famous for curing such things.
Oh.
So I thought, let me go and try. What the harm? 3 months I went suffering, no doctor is able to fix me. Let me try.
Mhm.
So I went to him. He had his homemade oils. He used to make oils himself. You know. So he did almost like 45 minutes massage on my foot with his own oils. And he didn't charge me a penny. He didn't take any money from me. He just massaged me for 45 minutes. And after 45 minutes, I came out, all my swelling was gone, all the pain was gone. And I never had any problem again after that. The swelling never came back, pain never came back. So just imagine, the person may not have knowledge of, whole bodily anatomy or how the body works, but yet he had developed skill, right? He may not be now strict technical sense, here in the US they may even try to put him in the jail. Oh, you're not supposed to be doctor, don't treat like this, right? But he was actually treating a lot of people, right? He's not a doctor, but he was actually curing a lot of people from such. And now, of course, it has actually much more increased more. I heard, one of my cousin, he fell down from 2 stories, and he developed multiple fractures on his leg, multiple fractures. And doctors told him he'll take at least 2 months for you to recover. So he went for some massage therapy, such massage therapy. Those people cured him in just 2 weeks' time. All the fractures were cured. Just he took massage every day for 2 weeks.
Interesting.
So, I mean, this is something we get to see with the eyes. Somebody didn't go to any medical college and yet develop some medical expertise under the guidance of somebody else, right? So, similarly, if you do not know Sanskrit language, you can still develop expertise in understanding Bhagavad Gita. You don't need to know Sanskrit language. By mercy of Srila Prabhupada, we have, the same explanation. And if you have the contact with devotees who have understood Bhagavad Gita, you can actually solve all the mysteries of Bhagavad Gita and learn in your life. So language is not a barrier. You can actually understand Bhagavad Gita by the mercy of devotees if you develop somehow the devotional attitude towards Krishna. Bhakto semi sakha cheti. If you develop devotional attitude towards Krishna, then you can really understand Bhagavad Gita. So this is the key. If you want to understand Bhagavad Gita, you have to have devotional attitude towards Krishna. Whatever Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, I have to have full faith in those words. Then only you'll be able to unlock the mysteries of Bhagavad Gita. I'll just conclude with one short anecdote. Arjunacharya, he was a great Vaishnava. This is a historical incident, which happened a few hundred years back. So Arjunacharya was one great Vaishnava who used to study Bhagavad Gita. And he had unflinching faith and devotion and firm faith in words of Bhagavad Gita. And every day he would actually study Bhagavad Gita in the morning. And he was a Brahmana. So he used to study Bhagavad Gita every day. And Brahmana's profession used to be, they used to go out for begging. They never used to work for him, but they would just go for begging. So, but he was very poor. He would not get practically much in begging. So he was very emaciated, very skinny, and he would struggle a lot. And his wife would be constantly nagging him, you are useless, you're not getting any money or any sufficient food for us. So, one time he was reading Bhagavad Gita. So he came across one verse in Bhagavad Gita where Krishna says, that verse, Yoga Kshemam Vaham. What is it? How that verse starts? No. So anyway, that verse talks about, Krishna says, if you are engaged in devotional service, if you are engaged in my bhakti, Ananyas Chintayanto Ma, Ye Jana Pari Upasati, Tesha Nitya Abhiyuktana Yogakshemam Vahami. Thank you very much, Mataji. No? Beginning with Ananyas Chintayantam. Ananyas means who is without any diversion, with one focused mind, remembers me. Ananyas Chintayantam. Ye jana paribad. Somebody who worships me in this way, constantly thinking of me. Krishna says, Tesham, to such people, Yoga Kshemam Vahamyam, to such people I bring whatever they lack and I protect whatever they have. So Krishna says, Aham, I personally bring. He doesn't say I'll arrange through somebody else. He says, I will bring. Okay. So, when Arjuna was reading this, he thought, this doesn't make sense. Why Krishna has to personally come? He's God, right? He doesn't have to come personally. He can arrange through anyone. Maybe somebody has added this verse in Bhagavad Gita. This cannot be true. So he took a pen and he put a cross on that verse. This verse is not actually Bhagavad Gita's verse. This somebody must have added. He developed little bit doubt like that. This cannot be true. So he put a cross and that day he went for begging. And by arrangement of Krishna, he didn't get anything. He went begging from door to door. He didn't get a single grain in charity. In the meantime, when he was gone, his wife was there at home. So, two beautiful boys. One was blackish in complexion, and one was very fair, one very, white in complexion. They both were carrying, two sticks on their shoulder. In India, they carry the two sticks, and both the sticks were hanging many pots, earthen pots, filled with some groceries and other stuff. So they were carrying on their shoulders like this, and they brought those pots at the home of Arjunacharya. And they told they told the wife of Arjunacharya, Mother, we are disciples of your husband. So he has sent us with these groceries. So please take this, keep it, and then we will go. So she said, okay, come in, come in. So they went inside. She helped them to unload everything. And she said, okay, now you sit down. I'll get you some thing to eat, because you brought so much stuff, holding on your shoulder. You must be tired. They said, no, 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 we have to go. Our guru, your husband is very angry with us. If we delay, then he may, punish us more. You see, Ali punished us today. He very brutally given us beating on the back. My husband has given you beating? Show me. So they showed the back, and both of their back was having a cross mark. So she said, how can my husband be so cruel? Such tender and beautiful boy, he is beaten so badly. Let him come today. Anki khair nahi. So then they left, and Arjunacharya came. And Arjunacharya came. His wife started, giving him left and right. How can you be so cruel? Such tender boys, you have given them so much beating just because you were delayed little bit. How can you beat them so badly? Arjunacharya's disciple? I don't have any disciples. What are you talking about? No, the two boys came. They brought so much grocery. She showed them so much grocery they brought. And they were saying that because they were delayed little and you gave them actually beating, and they had this cross sign on their back, you had given them beating with a looks like iron rod. And Arjunacharya got completely confused. I gave them beating. Okay, tell me how the boys looked like. She said one was very blackish in complexion, wearing yellow dhoti, Another was very fair in complexion, wearing blue dhoti. And hearing the description, Arjunacharya immediately thought, oh, wait a minute, wait a minute. He immediately went to his Bhagavad Gita copy and he saw the book in the morning where he had put this cross on this verse, Ananyashchintayantomam. The cross was gone that he had put in the morning. There was no more cross mark. Then he started weeping and crying. Oh, I doubted on the words of Krishna. I am so foolish that I was doubting the words of Krishna. Krishna personally brought all this stuff, for my groceries. He personally brought it. I'm so foolish. I was doubting the words of Krishna. So, having the unflinching faith in the words of Bhagavad Gita, is actually the key to understand Bhagavad Gita. And that can happen only when we accept Krishna as the Supreme Personality of God. When we develop devotional attitude towards Krishna, then we'll have found faith in the words of Bhagavad Gita also. And then we'll be able to unlock the mysteries of Bhagavad Gita. I think with this, we will conclude this discussion. If anyone has any questions, feel free to ask.
Prabhu, just one question. I always get confused when we say that 6 chapters are clean, right? But 15th chapter is most like Purushottama Prapti, which is a very good chapter, right? Like, and also we say that this is one of our auspicious chapter to recite. How come that it went to that side?
No, therefore I said, we should not have this consideration that something is more important or something is less important. Everything is important, but middle 6 chapters, Vaishnava Acharyas say, they are like the cream. So if you compare the 15th chapter with the middle 6 chapters, in comparison, you find. Because middle 6 chapter are exclusively talking about how we can actually remember and attain Krishna. And again, of course, if you take very first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada explained there also in the purports, pure devotional service, attaining Krishna, Sarva Dharman Parityaja. Very first chapter only Prabhupada explained, right? Sarva Dharman Parityaja. You have to abandon all Vedic religion and surrender to Krishna. So, actually speaking, it's not that something is more or less important. But when you do from neutral perspective, when you do relative study, relative comparison, then you can see that yes, middle 6 chapters appear to be like the cream.
So one question, Prabhu.
Mhm.
So when we know the Bhagavad Gita is so important for every living entity, at least for humans, why are we not showing interest to read or understand or practice?
Actually, it is because of the lack of faith, that one may not have so much interest in studying and relishing Bhagavad Gita. The faith, of course, develops gradually, when Srila Prabhupada actually give the example that Bhagavad Gita you can compare with medication, right? Medicine. So even if you don't have faith in the medicine, right? Doctor give the medicine here, take this medicine and it'll cure you. Take morning, afternoon, and evening 3 doses every day. So you may have doubt. I don't think this medicine is going to work, right? But still you take the medicine religiously. Medicine will work, right? It'll do its job. So whether we have faith or we don't have faith, if we still, religiously try to practice the process of devotional service and study Bhagavad Gita, then slowly and gradually it will act. The medicine will act. And Shraddha also develops by, or the faith also develops by regularly associating with people who have faith. Because if you associate with certain kind of people, you develop their traits. If you start associating with drunkards every day, even if you don't drink It's a matter of time you will become a drunkard,
Mm.
right? If you are associating with, stock trader, those who do daily trading, right? Even though you may not have any interest in that, it's just a matter of time you will start trading yourself.
Mm.
You know, oh, this person gained so much. Oh, that person earned so much money. Maybe I can also, right? You'll automatically develop interest in that. So similarly, um, you know, if we start hanging around with people who have formed faith in Bhagavad Gita, we will also develop faith. So two things. One is if we somehow take the medication, that we practice the process of devotional service and study Bhagavad Gita. And secondly, if we associate with people who have faith, we will develop faith.
Mm.
So we develop faith by association with people, by seeing them, how it is working for them. And we develop faith when we actually start practicing ourselves, when we see transformation happening in our own life. Then we develop faith.
Mm.
So both ways. By seeing others and by experiencing ourselves, we can develop faith.
Good points, bro.
Yeah. You were saying something, Guru?
Yes, Prabhu. So you were talking about the demonic tendencies and then also ignorance. So are they the same, or is the demonic tendencies related to ignorance? So I just wanted to seek out to understand that.
Very good question, Guru. It's very much related. So if you want to be expert manager or administrator, you need to understand 3 chapters in Bhagavad Gita very nicely. Okay. If you understand the 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, where we understand we are not the body, but we are the spirit soul. You understand the 14th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, the 3 modes of material nature. And if you understand 16th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, then you can actually be a good administrator. Very good administrator, because you will understand the entire human psychology. And if you understand 17th chapter in addition, you can actually become a best psychologist as well, dealing with any kind of psychology in this world. Because these, especially the 14th, 16th, and 17th chapter, they are actually talking in depth about the human psychology. So mode of ignorance, a deep ignorance, is actually what forms the demoniac nature. So to the degree a person has tuned himself with the mode of ignorance, the deeper one is tuned with mode of ignorance, the hardcore demon he becomes. Is directly proportionate to that.
Mm.
And similarly, somebody who develops more and more quality of goodness becomes actually Devata, becomes divine in nature. You see all the good qualities manifest in such a person. Directly proportionate. But that's a good observation. Makes sense?
Also, you said the rasa was taste, but there's also where the ruchi that's taste. How are they related together?
Sorry, what is?
You said the rasa was taste,
Rasa is the taste.
and then the ruchi is also called taste. So are they related or not?
Okay, so rasa, we're talking about the taste, and ruchi means more precise translation of the ruchi would be interest. Okay,
Interest.
having interest in something. Okay, so suppose I say ruchi, I have ruchi in something. That means I have interest in something, not the faith, or not the taste. Rasa means something that we can relish, and ruchi is something that we have. Okay, there's a difference between two. We have interest in something, right? Okay, like for example, I have interest in learning music. Okay, so that's my interest. But rasa means something that I relish, that I really enjoy. That's called rasa. So say for example, I really like to eat gulab jamun, okay, because that is rasa. When you're eating gulab jamun, that gives you some rasa. But I have interest in learning dance, so that's a different thing. So ruchi and rasa is two different things.
And then the last question of mine that I have, maybe it's silly, but sometimes like some people say that lion is the king of animals, but also said that elephant is king of animals. So how
His favorite is elephant.
I never heard somebody saying elephant. Elephant may be a bigger animal.
I googled it. That says
Huh?
I googled it. And it says that elephant.
Google.
Google said. Well, I think
Then we
probably
have to
Google,
accept.
Google has gone nuts. But anyway, elephant, I never heard that considered as the king of animals. Although in Srimad Bhagavatam it mentions Gajendra, the elephant, was so powerful that even lions were afraid of him. So that was some exceptional elephant. But generally, an elephant can also be very easily terrified at the sight of a lion. Right? Lion may not be necessarily terrified with elephants, but elephants are also terrified at the sight of lion, because lion is considered the symbol of strength.
Yeah, leadership, strength. Actually, lion is leadership and it's strength.
There is actually also, I've heard a proverb, it says, group of lions led by jackals or dogs can lead to defeat. But a group of dogs led by a lion can lead to victory. So, because lion has a kingly quality. So even you have many kings, if they are led by a lower animal, who doesn't have courage or kingly mentality, will lead to defeat. So generally, lion is considered the symbol of a royal animal, kind of a kingly animal. But yes, I'm not necessarily saying that could be wrong, but I never heard that. Before the today, I never heard that elephant is considered the king of animals. Yes, Mother, you see?
Prabhu, sorry, go ahead.
I heard from grandparents long time back that lion is a king of jungle and elephant he has a good memory. He's a king of memory for the animal. That things I heard.
King of having
Memories. They have a good memory.
Mhm.
So that I heard. And then second question I have is Rati and Ruchi. So Ruchi is explained in the Sanskrit as a Rati
Rati is attachment.
because in this
Ruchi is interest.
okay, and in this one verses it says Dharma Svanishtatam Pumsam Visvakchayanam Karasyan
No
No Padyati Rati Shamayakari Kevara. So Rati means interest, right? Or
Rati means
that is-
attachment.
Okay.
Ruchi means interest. Rati means attachment. No pade yadim rati. If one does not develop attachment, to the Supreme Lord, then whatever will given us.
So thank you for it.
Hare Krishna. Mother, you were saying something?
Prabhu, can I ask you a question?
Yes, ma'am.
So you said everything is under the mode of, under the three modes.
Mhm.
Question one, what is faith? Is it a mode? Is it under a mode? And number two, how does a person or living entity, say person, gets faith initially if he's always under control of three modes?
Very good question, Mother. Faith, yes, Krishna does explain in 17th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. There are three divisions of faith: the faith in the mode of goodness, the faith in the mode of passion, and the faith in the mode of ignorance. So yes, faith are also under the three modes of material nature, and so does all other qualities also. Now, as far as developing faith is concerned, how we develop faith in certain say, quality of people, it directly proportionate to how we tune ourselves with certain modes. So, for example, if you see somebody is living a lifestyle which is more tuned to tamasic nature, tamoguna, or ignorance, you will see that person will have faith also accordingly in the people who are actually meant for destroying. And I've seen that, I have observed it also. So you just see people are awake till late night, for example, till midnight they are awake, okay, and they're sleeping in the till late morning, okay. They will naturally have faith in people who are not their well wishers, who are actually meant to exploit them. Naturally, it's a so it more or less depends on our lifestyle. And you will see the people will start liking food also accordingly. They will eat the foodstuffs that are meant to ruin them. And they will start actually liking the nutritionists also who are advising such advices. But you see, some nutrition will say you should follow keto diet. Somebody say no, you should follow more Ayurvedic diet. Okay. So whom you develop faith also depends on your lifestyle.
So I meant these people on the three modes of ignorance, how do they develop faith in God? Like not just material things.
That's a very good question, So all the three qualities of people develop faith also in God accordingly. Okay. So people in the mode of goodness will naturally have faith in God as it is prescribed in the scriptures. And people in the mode of passion, they will start having faith in God that God is going to provide me whatever I want. Okay. And people in the mode of ignorance would always be having faith in God that God will help me to destroy. Some religion people, they think, oh, if I kill people, if I destroy people, then I will go to God. Then God will actually, accommodate me in his kingdom. Right? So that's how the people develop faith also in authority of God. So faith is actually directly connected with our tuning of three modes of material nature. Therefore, it's actually responsibility for all of us not to tune ourselves with tamasic quality, with ignorance quality, because ignorance will drag us down. It will naturally put us in a situation where we start believing or trusting authorities who are actually giving us bad advice. And even those people who are giving bad advice may not be even aware that they are giving bad advice because they are also in the mode of ignorance. They think this is actually good advice. And what I tell you, interesting thing? Sometimes you'll see people following such advices from different authorities. They see that it's actually doing only harm to them. They still develop, they are still helpless. They have so much faith. No, it's not because of their advice, because I'm following their advice. Something else is wrong in my life. Because they are tuned so much to ignorance, they are obliged to have faith in wrong authority. So actually, therefore, the 14th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, along with the 17th chapter, it actually is a tremendous tool how we can uplift ourselves, by changing our lifestyle. So you don't have to really worry about, how do I judge which is, because you cannot really look into hearts of people, right? Whether they are having genuine intention of benefiting us or not. If you want to naturally get attracted and develop faith in good people, right kind of people, then tune yourself to quality of goodness. That's it. That's all you need to do. If you become more and more tuned to quality of goodness, you will naturally be attracted to people who are actually your well wishers and follow their advice. Make sense? So it's science, it's a tremendous science. Very good. Abhijit, anyone else? Yes.
I think I kind of got the answer based on what you've already explained, Prabhu, but I just still wanted to put it forward.
Mhm.
You mentioned that when we have bhakti on Krishna, we get to relish Bhagavad Gita a lot more.
Mhm.
So for many starters who would like to learn Bhagavad Gita without any prior bhakti or understanding of who the Lord is, how can they really enjoy Bhagavad Gita? As well as I'm with the understanding that I read Bhagavad Gita so I can develop bhakti on the Lord. So it's kind of conflicting to me here that do I really need to have bhakti on the Lord, faith on the Lord before I read Bhagavad Gita? Or do I read Bhagavad Gita to develop them?
Whether chicken first or egg first? Right? Good question. It's actually both ways. So it goes both ways. If you somehow that start studying Bhagavad Gita along with chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, then it naturally develops your bhakti. Okay. And in order to develop bhakti, we have to actually engage in the process of devotional service, that is chanting of Hare Krishna and doing some service with the devotees, right? Like today we had festival, right? So cooking, cleaning, or helping to serve the prasadam, right? This is devotional service. So when you are doing such kind of service, right, it is very conducive to develop bhakti. You know? It helps us to develop devotion to Krishna. Then when you sit to read Bhagavad Gita, it makes a lot of sense. There's a real incident which took place, maybe a little more than 100 years ago. So Srila Bhaktivedanta Thakur's Matha, one very famous personality, Madan Mohan Malvi, right? You've heard about him, right? Very historical person. He visited the ashram of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur because Madan Mohan Malvi was a, great scholar. He used to study the Vedic scriptures. So he was studying Vedanta one time and he had some doubt. He had some question. And he knew that Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur was a great scholar and his students were also great scholars of Vedanta. So he went to the ashram of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur. And he told Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur, I have some doubts on Vedanta. Can you help me? Can you answer my question? So Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur said, well, I'm a little busy, but you can go to one of my shishya, my disciple. He's in the kitchen there. He'll help you. He's also very learned. He'll answer all your questions. So Madan Mohan Malvi, although he's a very famous person, but he still accepted the sadhu is telling me, my students will help you. He also knows. So he went to the student, and student was in the kitchen cleaning the pots. So he said, sir, your Guru Maharaj told me that, you can answer my question. And he was cleaning the pot. He said, yeah, I can answer your question, but I have to finish these pots. Why don't you do one thing? You also come and clean the pots. We'll quickly finish it, and then we can sit and discuss Vedanta. So he said, just imagine, he's a great scholar. He's coming to the ashram and he's somebody telling him, okay, clean the pots here. And then, you So he started, okay, he was humble, so he started cleaning the pots. Okay, no problem. We'll finish quickly, then we can sit and discuss. So he started cleaning the pots. And after they finished cleaning the pots, so the disciple of Bhaktisiddhanta, he said, okay, let's sit and discuss. He said, you know what? When I was cleaning the pots, while cleaning only, I got all the answers from within. So he said, no, go and tell my Guru Maharaj. So he went and told Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur same thing. Sir, when I was cleaning the pots, I got all my answers. So Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur told him, he made a remarkable statement that time. He said, this is our process of studying Vedanta. We don't sit and just study the books, Vedanta. We actually engage in Krishna's service. So just simply cleaning the pot, it may appear to be like, what, I'm cleaning the pot. But that's a devotional service to Krishna because you're doing in the temple, cleaning the pots, you are actually doing devotional service to Krishna. And that process reveals jnana from within. So bhakti is very conducive for developing the understanding of Bhagavad Gita. And when we actually don't understand Bhagavad Gita, I still study Bhagavad Gita with a faith. That's also bhakti in itself. So that also enhances our understanding of Bhagavad Gita. One thing I have realized, over past, I'll say 35 years, is if you simply keep reading Bhagavad Gita, not only Bhagavad Gita, you keep reading any Vedic text, if you simply keep reading over and over and over again and have firm faith in Krishna, that Krishna is actually going to reveal this, you will start understanding even if you don't have any Sanskrit scholarship. You will actually start understanding. I remember, many years back, some astrologer had told me to study or recite certain chapter of the Vedas. From one of the Vedic Vedas, he told me to recite one certain chapter. For 3 days, he told me to recite. So I did that. I was saying, okay, I'll try to study, read the Vedanta, the chapter from the Vedas. First day when I was reading that chapter in the Vedas, I couldn't understand a word. Second day I started reading that, I could actually understand some of the verses. Third day when I was reading the same word, same chapter, I could understand a lot of verses from that. Actually, simply by reading, I didn't know Sanskrit, so well, but simply by reading it, I could actually start understanding. And I actually realized whenever you read even Bhagavad Gita in the same way, you are actually showing Krishna your sincerity, that Krishna, I want to understand your message. And Krishna actually mercifully starts revealing. If we do not hold any pride in the heart that I know, better than anyone else, then Krishna starts revealing that message to us. Okay. So it goes both ways. If you study Bhagavad Gita, you develop bhakti. If you practice the process of bhakti, then you develop understanding of Bhagavad Gita. It goes both ways. I think we can stop here now. Thank you very much, everyone. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
So just before we wrap up, kind of assume that everybody knew Sankarananda Prabhu, so please accept my offense, Prabhu, for not giving you proper introduction before we started the discussion. So Sankarananda Prabhuji is a senior disciple of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, and he has been practicing bhakti for a really, really long time, as Prabhu just said, 30 plus years. So that he has been a student in ashram and practiced bhakti under the direct training of the Maharaj. And he has been a priest in the kind of New Vrindavan temple, if you are aware of the famous ISKCON temple in New Vrindavan, right? And we were so fortunate to have Prabhuji spent almost 3 years here, 2 to 3 years here.
2 years.
2 years here, back in
15 and 16.
15 and 16, long back. But
I remember Prabhuji, that meant it's a simple eating, simple eating, simple, nothing is nothing, nothing we think, nothing. 2 pair of clothes, 2 pair of his spiritual clothes. He come and eat, very simple,
2 pair of clothes, that is not true. He will of course
Hare
not.
He
loved.
I-
He used to see me.
Prabhuji, I haven't seen you in Mitesh's house, not in Balram's house.
No, Mitesh's house. Yeah, Mitesh's house one, not his own. He has seen me in Mitesh's house.
Oh, okay.
Oh, what?
I haven't seen him, only the same, one day this,
See, the
whenever I
thing is
go
that
on them.
in Mitesh house, nobody, like, anybody goes who has to eat, like, they have to eat very simple only. They can't eat anything
No,
else.
no.
No,
Who's home they make you, but Prabhu makes both of them for them. Prabhu used to make lot of items for them. And then Sunal Mata is always like crying, oh, Prabhu is making so many items, what should we do? So always complain.
Yeah.
Actually,
But
Sankarananda Prabhu is the one who started Bhagavad Gita class in our home.
Yeah.
So and with only myself, Punya Mata, and two other new people, one couple. And I still remember, like, from that, it's all came to this far. From your starting, from Golden Valley, and from your starting, and all the devotees got inspired.
And the
So-
very nice thing is that Prabhu always gave one-on-one, guidance. He always spent so much of time with the devotees. But amazingly, how much time Prabhu has, despite all of his commitments and work and everything, still he gives a lot of time to individual devotees. So that is so nice of you, Prabhu, and so humble that I cannot, explain that how humble Prabhu is.
And Prabhu makes excellent Ravadi.
Prabhu,
Ravadi, yeah.
oh, I didn't know that, Prabhu. You are coming tomorrow, Prabhu, at 5
He is expert, awesome. And Prabhu is Ensut like really. Anything in the subject matter, go anywhere, you will just till from top to bottom, you will just need to have time to hear.
Yeah, Prabhu started SV Temple classes. He was there, and people were really mesmerized. The SV Temple, I remember it was 23rd December. It was highly snowy, but the whole temple hall was full, almost. Sankarananda was speaking, and the president, Madhur Reddy, Madhur Reddy,
Madhur Reddy.
he was so impressed with him. I mean, he did not know anybody, but he was quite impressed. So since then, the congregation, I don't know how many of us here are from SV Temple days, but I've not been turned up today. But and we would have regular classes, and Prabhu would spend time explaining one Vaishnava song to each and every home, and explaining one song turn by turn in individual home, and people got very attracted. And then we also went on like field trip once, and that's where he cooked his disastrous disastrous, because after that I made so many pies.
Okay.
Because after that, Rashmi said, okay, I ate enough. But that pie was so delicious the first time. I ate almost half pie, but it was like, wow. So after that,
the same recipe.
That's your reason.
yeah.
I learned from my wife.
Okay.
If you want to know meaning of Sevira Vidyadal, that prayer is there, right?
Okay.
Prabhu gives excellent class on that. He gave class one time, 1.5 hour class on that. All over. I still remember.
Prabhu, now you just need to stay here for 18 weeks and teach us Bhagavad
Just-
Gita.
Yes, Prabhuji, at
Yeah.
least you are 2 days, whatever the 2 days you are here, let's learn the prayer for the prasadam. And then you give the class on for,
Sure, Mati.
if you can, request.
Sure, we'll discuss.
And also, Prabhuji, the Mangalarti we do daily, it becomes almost like ritual. So we need to understand at least what is Mangalarti prayers. I mean, it's Guru Puja and others. Um, it'll be good.
Guru Ashtakam, yeah. Sure.
Jai.
Jai.
Prabhuji, you're not done yet. Sorry.
I'm not done.
No, we have a new guest with the children.
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
you can tell something interesting to children, the glimpse of it, that what we're going to do, so they can develop the taste and keep coming. And also, what you can, what are you planning to give, just glimpse of it today, at least they can develop interest and they, because they know why they are coming. So at least they can get something out of it to the children and to the new adult.
So first of all, thank you for coming. So we are part of the ISKCON New Mahavan community.
Go ahead.
So, so we have been conducting programs for a while here, right? And we do meet on every Friday and Sunday programs now, but here for so it's not easy for like everybody to travel every week to Plymouth. So that's the reason why we are coming here as part of our monthly second and fourth Saturday. We are going to be here every second and fourth. To speak on or to discuss on Bhagavad Gita. Means that we are not, of course, when we have Sankarananda Prabhu here, that they are qualified to speak. So that we are all learning from them. So that we are not, I am not qualified to speak on Bhagavad Gita yet, but we have some senior devotees here who will be sharing that knowledge. Right. So that first of all, we will be meeting here to have the discussion and kind of learn together. And as Prabhu has nicely mentioned, yes, we can all sit in home and read Bhagavad Gita, but the association is what gives the real wisdom, right? So I think that's the reason why we have to come together to understand the scripture, understand how a verse may practically apply to you versus that same verse may practically apply to me. It may have a totally different meaning today versus tomorrow. Right? So that's why it's important for us to come and read it as a group so that we all can learn together. Right? Now with kids, long back I heard this from Sankarananda Prabhu that kids reading Bhagavad Gita or kids listening or singing just like that, sloka, right, will actually shape their nerves in the brain. Okay, so that actually makes them leaders in the future. That that they may look like kids today, but because of this practice, because of this Sanskrit, understanding Sanskrit, and of course, Prabhuji can talk more about it on the impact the kind of slokas can have on the kids. Right, and this is a good opportunity. So here we are not just memorizing the slokas, we are trying to understand the slokas. We are trying to see how we can, how we can implement the slokas in our life. Right, and of course here at Manohar Prabhu have a dedicated Friday kids school that he runs. So we can learn from Manohar Prabhu when you bring your kids here. Yes, so it's going to be educational, and more than educational purposes, it is going to be how we can all develop our taste for Krishna and focus on improving our devotion service. Can we have your Mataji, your kind of names, Mataji and Prabhuji?
Swati.
Swati.
Abhilash.
Jai. Haribol.
And children?
Children's name.
What's your name? Atar.
Sister's name. Ishan.
Ishanvi. Atar and Ishanvi. Hari Bo.
How old is Akash?
Okay.
Nine.
And Ishanvi?
5.
Perfect. This is the perfect.
He has
age.
very good questions, so he asks questions also. I mean, he's been going to some satsangs. I have seen him. Mom and dad are, very much do it.
So Prabhuji, later on, or couple of classes after, they can, if they want, they are more interested, they can connect with Jaganmohini Mataji or Sarika Mataji or Purnima Mataji. And on Zoom they can learn, right?
On Zoom too, yeah.
So
that's
they
right.
can progress.
That's right.
That's okay. I just wanted to give little bit to them so they can.
Do you still
develop
have
an
those
interest.
Zoom classes for kids?
Yeah, we have 3 sessions of Zoom classes, 4 sessions for Zoom classes.
I just checked with Sarika Mataji, she is running 6 sessions.
Oh my
Six
God.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, so.
My son had
If you
it.
go to isfanmahavan.com, there are regular programs, you'll see all the sessions and contact numbers. And you can contact anyone, based on the timings. And if you, and as Prabhu is saying, more sessions has been added after it was published. So you can directly contact.
My suggestion would be, bro,
The children.
Sunday program then you have.
Mm.
That time you should have children class in
Children
person.
class. Okay,
Somebody can take a lead on that. That
Yeah.
will be very helpful.
definitely. Good.
Sunday, we should have.
And then also, we have a festival, right? Mataji. We have a Prabhuji Mataji, we have a festival that
The Nursing Day Jayanti is coming up,
we do the prayer.
next Thursday, so please come. It's in the same place. Sorry, you were there today? No.
She
Oh,
doesn't
okay.
know, but we can bring her.
Yeah.
In the same church that you know, so.
She's actually
It's
my
in a
neighbor.
church in Plymouth.
She's my neighbor.
Yeah.
and-
Oh, right.
Yeah, I let her.
Yeah,
We
please.
all will.
So they can
Come in.
participate in play, like, they can become a Prahlad Maharaj, Lord Narasimha, or other devotees. They keep really wonderful play for that. I'm just giving you an interest point, so you can.
Sure. Yeah, they learn Bhagavad Gita slokas with Shailaja Mataji every week.
Very nice.
She takes classes on Sundays for all the neighbor kids.
Very
Yeah,
She's
that
been
neighbor
doing,
kids are-
she's been doing for 15 years, 15 years. Yeah,
Very good. Very good.
I know. And it's a news to you guys, but yeah, she's been doing for 15 years.
Very good. That's good to know.
Good.
I remember because my older one also went there.
Purana Krishna Prabhu, Subhara Prabhu
Yeah.
started in the Savage, Therapy, right?
Savage.
He did for
Many
2 years.
2 years. And then
I think that could be a wonderful service if you can start doing the temple.
Yes,
Yeah,
Prabhu.
in the temple, if you can start.
I'll connect with, actually, I do have a couple of kids from various age groups, starting from Ishanvi to middle schoolers. So we have about 3 batches so far. And been learning Bhagavad Gita shlokas, as well as a few of the stories from Srimad Bhagavatam.
Wonderful.
And not concepts of Bhagavad Gita yet. So the kids I didn't. I myself am a beginner, so I don't feel eligible to teach them, but
I don't know
whatever
what
I
does
know.
she mean by beginner, but how I was exposed is because of her, because she was teaching the kids and I took my kids. I remember taking my older one, he's now 23, he's not into it now, but I
They'll
have
come
the
back.
exposure.
They'll come back.
My younger one is still knows though, he knows satsang and everything, I mean, he's more exposed, from
I
her.
think he was connected
I-
with Purnima Mataji too, right? Little
But
bit.
I
Yeah,
connect
Purnima
with you,
Mataji,
Prabhu,
yeah,
to see
yeah.
how we can, I'm kind of looking into a standard curriculum that kind of helps develop, faith in the Lord. So been struggling with that a bit too. And sometimes ChatGPT is my help. But definitely it's nice if you're having so many sessions, something that's standard.
Actually, I'm also struggling with the
No.
curriculum. It's
what
been
to put
spring
this up.
in stages, so I'll consult you. But, yeah, but the way I run, Mataji, I have a standard format, where I, go through the kirtan, initial kirtan, little bit of japa, then, recitation of verses, few verses. They learn every week, and then some stories and some games, like that, kirtan, so like that. So coloring, and then they participate in plays during festivals like that. So we keep them engaged, and they do it in a not very controlling, leave them free to learn also. So they like to come. They tell their parents, I want to go to the class, that kind of thing. So
It's a challenge.
they may not be very disciplined students,
Yes, yes.
but yeah,
We don't
they
want
like
them
to
to be
come.
disciplined.
Yeah. But
We
but
have to be disciplined.
Yeah.
We cannot expect children to be disciplined.
Okay, that is right.
So Prabhuji, the last question. Let's say if they are learning here something, they can coordinate with Mataji, either of Mataji in our side, and then we can keep them play one, and they can, that way they can have a play together, or whenever we are celebrating the festival. So when this branch starting now, so if they do some play or prepare something, they can coordinate with each other, and then they have a play about, same event, but different sloka or different vata or katha. So that way you can have a develop here but perform there,
Yes.
and guidance under.
Yes, Manoj Prabhu does that. Ravinia kids, they do
Yeah.
the practice and everything.
Yeah.
On Fridays, and then they perform.
Yeah, so that is this branch can. Yeah, I'm just asking,
Yes.
throwing the question probably so we
Yes.
can give them more look inside.
yeah, so there is a possibility of having a small Gopal Fund school branch here.
Yes,
So then kids were
Yeah.
can
So
be
they all can come.
engaged in a separate room.
We can set up. Cool.
Yeah.
Right.
I have few ideas.
Definitely, probably. Yeah, I want to laugh.
What's your name, Madhuri?
Sanjay Prabhu. Prabhu, we actually met you at SV Temple to 2015 or so. Talked to you only once, and then you told me I'm moving to California.
Oh.
I didn't know so many programs had happened. I wished I knew
Oh,
Prabhu.
yeah.
Yeah,
Two
I would
years.
have missed it definitely.
If any Zoom calls, Prabhu, let us know. But I have lots of questions. I don't want to start now because mine will continue. I have, after everyone asking, my questions were increasing. I didn't want to start now.
We can discuss well for self.
Yeah, we have online reading, Bhagavad Gita reading also. So we would like to, we just read the verses and discuss.
Okay.
So every Monday and Wednesday, 7 to 8. If you like, you can join.
And we have morning japa calls also.
Yeah, I know.
So as Prabhuji said, morning japa, done, tick, and then reading, done. Then we'll get bhakti.
Yeah.
And it did not have to be 4:30. You can, even if a little part later, but that's perfectly fine. But it's actually, but in the morning is good actually. As early as you can do. But need not have to be 4:30 every day.
Yeah.
Because everybody doesn't have same schedule, right?
And
Narasimha
even like
Chetty,
if you
you-
can
you
join
want
at
to-
6 o'clock also, even if you join 6 o'clock, we read one shloka from Bhagavad Gita, one shloka from Bhagavatam, and that's what we do around 6:15, depending on how that session goes. Between 6 and 6:15, we read those. So it is just at least joining on the Zoom, listening to Bhagavad Gita shloka, one shloka a day.
Yeah.
You have this Thursday morning aarti?
So every day we have.
Yeah,
aarti.
but Thursday is special, right? Coming Thursday is Narasimha Chetty.
Oh yeah, Narasimha Day, that is in the evening.
That's in the evening.
It's
only.
6:30.
Okay.
Around 6.
Very soon.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Jai. Please praise Sankarananda
Prabhu ki
Prabhu ki
jai.
jai. Bhagavad Gita Yagna ki
Ki jai.
jai. So see you all on second Saturday in May, which is May 9th.
9.
May 9th.
9.
That would be our thing. And there are few activities actually coming up. So we will be participating in the May Day parade in the downtown, in the uptown area.
From
South Minneapolis.
South Minneapolis, so
Powder on Park, right?
Paramount Park, so we'll have I think we are still contemplating whether we'll have a Radha or not, because it's all the busy week this week and
Most likely it would be the Harinam.
Harinam, so probably we'll just go as a group, as a congregation, we go participate in the parade. That's a long walk, it's almost like a 1 mile.
We have been doing this for about 20 years.
Yeah.
And because of COVID, there was a break. Otherwise, we have been doing it. So hopefully.
Yeah.
So about 5 to 10,000 people are there in the parade. There are so many people, and then it ends up in a park, and then there are a lot of boat race and other activities. So a lot of people have get introduced to Krishna consciousness. They get to see Lord Jagannath. So it is nice, and people are interested.
Except some of the mischievous things happen in Rath Yatra, right? Rath would not turn. 1 year